From the building of faith, welcome to Celebration, a Christian talk and variety show with outreaches across the world via television, radio, internet, and social media. You'll hear from today's leading authors, preachers, singers, evangelists, songwriters, and local Christian leaders. Now here's your host, President and founder of Journey Network, Dr. J.T. Guyton.
Tuning into this program today. We're going to have a great time. Our guest today has charted more than 30 top 40 hits on the Billboard country music charts. Two of his singles, and I bet you never thought you'd hear me say this on this program, Older Women and You're Going to Ruin My Bad Reputation, reached #1. So many more that we play on J3 Radio, like Watching Girls Go By. My favorite is Personally.
You know, speaking of that, that's what we're opening up with tonight, because we always say we're bringing it to you personally tonight.
Well, that's what you're doing. So here's my guest, Ronnie McDowell, y'all.
Live and in color.
Live and in color.
And I got the right color on.
That's right. I told him when I picked him up, I said, you have the right color for Alabama.
Yep.
To be in the state of Alabama. Now I know, and we won't go into the whole story for the sake of time, but of course, the song "The King Is Gone." Was that like? I know that just kind of happened, but did you always want to be a country singer? Did you always want to be in music?
Well, to be honest with you, in 1953, when I was 3, I was walking around the house. I know this sounds crazy, but it's true. I was singing this Alabama boys song, "Your Cheating Heart."
Oh, okay.
Hank Williams.
Yes, sir.
At 3 years old.
Okay.
Singing "Your Cheating Heart," and I knew right then what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. So when I hear these kids that are going to college, and I always go, "So what do you want to be?" And they go, "Well, I'm not really sure." And I'm like, I knew what I wanted to be when I was 3. I don't get that.
Yeah, right.
But I guess sometimes it just comes to some people, and sometimes they wait. But I knew exactly what I wanted to do until right now.
Yeah.
True story.
And you're still doing it.
I'm still doing it, and I'm still having fun. And all my classmates, they go, "When you going to stop running up and down the road?" And I go, "What do you want me to do, sit on the porch, play golf?" I don't think so.
Yeah, you can't do that. You would be miserable probably.
Yeah, and I'm on Dolly Parton's new rock star album.
Look at there.
Yeah, I just got my gold album, and it's the biggest album Dolly has ever had. Now think about this. So we're track 28.
Okay.
So she called me and said, "Ronnie, did you ever dream me and you'd be on an album with a Beatle?" I said, "Well, I didn't know I was going to be on your rock star album." She said, "Well, you are." She said, "Guess who track 29 is?" I said, "I don't have a clue." She said, "Judas Priest."
Oh, wow. That's
so
a big...
what am I doing on an album with Judas Priest? But on the album also is Elton John, Fleetwood Mac, Leonard Skinner.
Wow.
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got everybody on this album. Yeah. And you know what the best part of this? I got my gold record.
Yeah.
I'm going to show it today at the show here in Atmore.
That's right.
But I got to tell you, you know what the best part of it was?
What's that?
I got my check.
That better be a good part, hadn't it? A check from Dolly's got to be good, right?
Not like Paul McCartney needed it. But...
Well, there you go. That's right. That's right. So you used to travel with Conway.
For 8 years, I opened up his shows. He was not only my mentor, friend, my icon, but he was like my second dad, and that's the God's truth.
Yeah.
And I miss him. Can you believe Conway Twitty has been gone 36 years?
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It just shows you.
I remember where I was when they came on the radio and said Conway had passed away. Yeah.
But now here's what's weird about that. What you just said, same thing with me. Got on the bus in Myrtle Beach. My bus driver turned the radio on. We were going down the road, and they were playing It's Only Make Believe, me and Conway's version, where he's singing with me. And when it was through, this DJ goes, "That's the late, great Conway Twitty." That's how I found out about it.
Wow.
So I went to his funeral service.
Yeah.
And Ralph Emery was up there with Kathy, his daughter.
Yeah.
And she was crying. Well, she got me crying.
Uh-oh.
And so while I was crying, Ralph Emery said, "Ronnie, get up here." And I was like, "Well, not right now." But anyway, I got up there and I told this story on my 29th birthday. Conway came to it, and he was spinning a 45 record on his finger. And he goes, "You know what this is?" I said, yes, sir, it's a record. He said, well, the guy that did it, it didn't work for him. You take it home, listen to it, it's yours. If you don't do it, I'm doing it. I brought it back the next day, and I said, Conway, I really don't care for that. And he said, okay, I'm doing it. You know what it was? Happy birthday, darling.
Oh.
Hey, I'm going to stand up. You kick me right now.
Wow, that was a big seller there. Wow, that's pretty cool.
So up in Louisville, he called me on the bus, and it was just me and him, like you and I sitting here, and he said, you turned down a #1 record. I got you another one.
Okay.
I said, what is it? And he said, it's about a man and his wife. So he sat there a cappella singing me this song, like Barney Fife, a cappella.
Right.
And
I love that show.
He sang me, I'd love to lay you down. And you know what I told him? I said, Conway, who is going to play a song called I'd Love to Lay You Down? Huge #1 record for Conway.
That's right.
So one day I said, Conway, why are you always trying to give me a song? You know what he said?
Yeah.
He said, because I believe in you, son.
Oh, wow.
So do I need any accolades from the music industry when Conway Twitty says, I believe in you, son? See, that kind of makes me emotional, I'll be honest with you.
Sure.
Wouldn't it you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
What an icon.
I know.
What a great performer, singer, and wow, to say that though, that's powerful.
It is powerful, and that's why I say I don't need any accolades from the music industry. When Conway Twitty says, I believe in you, son,
Yeah.
I'll take that with me till the end.
A lot of stars don't do that anymore, do they? You don't find a lot of people. I see that in all, not just like in music or entertainment. I see it in the church world. I see it in the political world. Nobody's reaching down and pulling up the younger people anymore.
You know, of course, my son is here with me, Tyler. And of course, hopefully he looks up to Daddy with the songs. As a matter of fact, he recorded his version of Older Women, which is better than my version. Which I like his version a lot better.
We'll have to play it on J3 Radio.
Yeah, you ought to play his version. I promise you'll like it a lot better. But I want to tell you this, the other night, my niece called me and she goes, Uncle Ronnie, and she's a singer, and she goes out with her boyfriend, soon to be her husband, in May, and they do all these Elvis impersonator shows all over the country, sometimes out. She said, Uncle Ronnie, there's a young 16-year-old boy that's coming to see you tonight in Alabama, and you're his idol. And so that night, I got him up there, and he sang Older Women and sounded better than me. And I was like, that is so cool that he was influenced by that song and by whatever I did.
Yeah,
so isn't that neat?
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Like, of course, I understand your son, obviously. That's no whatever. But other people singing your songs.
Well, I just think it's unbelievable because I go out into the audience. Now, here's what's crazy. I wrote Watching Girls Go By almost a half a century ago.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. 1981. So.
Were you like 3 years old when you wrote it?
Well, I was, let's see, what was I, 30?
Wow, okay.
30 years old. So I go out into the crowd and I say, now here's what's crazy. I'm going to sing this song, and it's crazy how people out there, and not just guys, they sing along with it.
Yeah.
Watching girls go by.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's like when you write a song, 50 years later, somebody's singing it. It makes me feel unbelievable.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration for that song? Are you like a people watcher?
No, I needed a follow-up to Older Women Make Better Lovers.
Oh, wow.
So one rainy night in my little hometown of Portland, Tennessee, I got out my old 45s, I was looking for an idea, and I played this record, and I know you remember this. I'm a girl watcher.
Yeah.
I'm a girl watcher, watching girls go by. And I lifted that title off of that record. And then the next line was, watching girls go by, me, oh my. I stole that line too, and I went, watching girls go by, me, oh my. So then it has now been played over 1 million times on the radio.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we keep adding to it because we keep playing.
Well, thank you. And you know what? I love the story behind every song. Like The King Is Gone.
Yeah.
I was driving down a road one day August 16th, 1977.
Okay.
Well, I got out of Vietnam. I'm a 3-term combat veteran.
Oh, well, thank you for your
68,
service.
69, 72. Thank you.
Yeah, wow.
And I got out of Vietnam in 72 and started writing songs. And back in those days, you could go to Nashville and knock on a door and they would listen to your songs. You can't do that now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so for 5 years, I was writing songs for Porter Wagner, the Wilburn Brothers, Jeannie Shepherd, Billy Walker.
Wow.
You know who makes me more money as a songwriter?
Who's that?
George Strait.
Really? Wow.
Under These Conditions, off of his album, If You Ain't Living, You Ain't Loving.
That's right.
And my song, All Tied Up, you remember that? Well, I'm all tied up, baby, tied up.
That's right.
It was setting to number 2. George Strait jumped over me and went to number 1.
With your song.
All Tied Up. Well, guess what?
I love it.
I dropped back to number 12. I never will forget it. But my first check from George for that Under These Conditions was $75,000, and I forgave him for jumping over me. Hey, wouldn't you?
That makes for easy forgiveness, right?
I was like, George, jump over me, he tied.
So something that I guess probably any Ronnie McDowell fan knows this, but maybe for those watching and you may not, you've practically sang the voice of Elvis on just about every Elvis movie that has been done.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, 2:22 in the afternoon of August 16th, turn the radio on, DJ goes, Elvis Presley has passed away.
Yeah.
This is the God's truth. I still think about this. I got this feeling, and all of a sudden I started going, I was barely 6 years old when I first heard him sing. And somehow I knew from that moment on, it'd be a lifetime thing. All of that just poured out of my soul, not just my heart.
Yeah.
And little did I know, 1 week later, it would sell 1 million records. My life went like that to like that.
I bet.
Instantly.
Wow.
And it was so crazy, it happened so fast that 2 weeks later, I was on American Bandstand with Dick Clark.
Okay.
So I was scared to death.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the song. It was brand new. So I was looking in the mirror and they was putting makeup on me. Well, here come Dick Clark. And I went, wow, Dick Clark. And I said, hey, Mr. Clark, I've been watching you since 1957. I can't believe I'm here. And he goes, Ronnie, you've sold 2 million records in 2 weeks. That's unheard of. You deserve to be here. You're number 9.
Wow.
He said, by the way, I'm doing a movie about Elvis Presley starring Kurt Russell.
Oh, wow.
I said, what's he going to play? He said, he's going to be Elvis. And I said, you talk about that Disney actor? He don't look nothing like Elvis. He said, Ronnie, wait till you see a screen test. I'm going to send it to you, and I want you to be Elvis's voice. When I saw his screen test, I went, Mr. Clark, I'm in. I did 38 songs in that movie.
Wow.
It was Movie of the Year, and I just saw 3 weeks ago where in 1978, when they played that movie that night, it was saw by 42 million people. I never knew that.
Wow.
So then Priscilla called me, and she said, Ronnie, I'm doing a movie called Elvis and Me, off of my book, #1 book. And she said, I want you to be Elvis's voice. And I said, Priscilla, I'm trying to get away from that because everybody thinks I wear one of them jumpsuits, and I don't do that. She said, Ronnie, I've listened to every Elvis voice in the world, and I don't want anybody doing that but you.
Wow.
And so I agreed to do it, 36 songs in that movie. Then I did Elvis and the Beauty Queen, Elvis Meets Nixon, and then the ABC TV series about Elvis's life. So how blessed am I?
Very.
I tell everybody, I wake up every morning, I'm like, I still can't believe I was Elvis's voice, the biggest star that's ever been on the planet.
Yeah.
And
I bet you most people, when they watch those movies, didn't know that it was not Elvis doing that.
Well, when I was a little boy, I was trying to sound like everybody. You know who else? Not only Elvis influenced me, Marty Robbins, Johnny Cash.
Wow.
And then I heard Louis Armstrong, and I went, now, you got to remember, it's 1957, so I couldn't do it then. But now, you know, Louis Armstrong, I said, hello, darling, this is Louis, darling. So I was trying to sound like everybody.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Elvis, but Elvis came easy for me.
Yeah.
I'm a Tennessee boy.
Sure.
You know, he lived in the same area, you know, we did, Southern boy.
Yeah.
And I'm baritone, so it was really easy for me. But it wasn't just that, because my sister set me down in front of this TV, 1956, February. I hadn't even started the first grade.
Wow.
And she said, you know that boy I've been bringing those records home? I said, You bring all those records home. She said, yeah, but that Elvis Presley boy. I said,
Okay.
yeah. Well, her name is Linda Sue, but we call her Tootie because she loved Little Richard's Tutti Frutti.
Wow.
I've never called her Linda Sue.
How about that?
So I said that night, I said, when Elvis came on, now you got to remember, I never laid eyes on this guy.
Yeah.
But when he walked on the camera, and I said, Tootie, that guy's too pretty to be a boy. That was my impression at 6 years old.
Yeah.
And then Jerry Reed told me, I worked with Jerry Reed in Birmingham with Marie Osmond, and Jerry said, you want to hear my Elvis story? I said, Jerry, who you think you're talking to? He said, well, I was fishing on Old Hickory Lake, and here come this boat. This guy said, Jerry, you need to get down to Studio B. Elvis wants you to play the guitar on Guitar Man. He said, Ronnie, I never laid eyes on this guy. He said, but I looked at him like that when I walked in, then I looked at him like that, then I looked at him like that, and he finally leaned back and said, hey, man, you making me uncomfortable. And Jerry goes, I can't help it. You're the prettiest thing I ever seen.
Do you remember Laverne Tripp?
Well, yeah.
The gospel singer. So we did a documentary on Laverne's life.
Yeah.
And he was a great mentor and friend. But anyway, so we were in this studio doing interviews for it. And I told him, I said, I heard this story that he was with the Blue Ridge at the time, Laverne was.
Yes.
And they were #1 in gospel music. And Elvis had told JD that he wanted the Blue Ridge, he wanted Laverne specifically to come up. And Laverne said no. Because Laverne had a big ego at the time as well. And he just, well, anyway. He said, so finally, he said, I didn't go to that. He said, but we were singing at the National Quartet Convention. He said, and I looked off to the side and standing in the wings, this is when the Quartet Convention was in Memphis. He said, and there stood Elvis. He said he was listening to us sing. Well, he motioned for all of us to come over, when we got through with our set. He said, I said, so what memories do you have of Elvis? He said, all I can tell you is that is the most beautiful man I have ever seen in my life.
And he's probably like me, he was all boy.
Yeah, he's like, that is the most beautiful man I've ever seen in my life.
That's like Robert Plant walked up to him, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
In 1970, he got to go up the Hilton, where he was on the top floor, and he walked up to him, got right in his face, and he said, hey, man, it ought to be a law to get somebody looking like you. And I never laid eyes on Elvis.
Wow. Wow. Well, I tell you, you do a great job. But tell me, what do you love about performing? What do you get a kick out of?
Well, I tell you what I love. I love involving the audience. Because it's not about me, it's about the audience, because they pay to come to see you.
That's right.
And they want to hear your songs.
Yeah.
But also, like last night, I went out in the crowd.
Yeah.
Which I always try to do. And I always say, who's been in love the longest amount of time? Well, last night, there was a couple that had been married 62 years.
Oh, wow.
And so I asked that lady, I said, hey, what's it like being with him 62 years? She goes, you really want to know? The other night in Richmond, 71 years, Ethel and Earl.
Yeah.
And I said, Ethel, what in the world is it like being with Earl 71 years? She goes, rough.
Well, she's honest, huh?
Yeah, I can't imagine being with somebody 71 years.
Wow.
But there was a couple in my little hometown of Portland, Tennessee, as I sat in the cornfield with Roy Acuff, population 3,476, salute, that had been married longer than anybody ever in the United States. 87 years.
Wow.
Bob and Mary Gray. As a matter of fact, I took Bob on the Ralph Emery show to celebrate that.
Yeah.
I can't, and he lived to be 106.
Oh, my goodness.
And she lived to be 103.
Wow. They saw some stuff.
Yeah, he was 16, she was 14. I said, did y'all ever have a fight, fuss? He goes, nope. When we got married, I said, the inside of the house is yours, the outside is mine.
Okay, then. There you go. And it worked.
Apparently.
So there you go. You got marriage advice from Ronnie McDowell right here on Celebration. So I got to tell you, our time is cramped today, but the next series of shows we do in Nashville, Ronnie said he would come be with us. So we'll definitely, and we're going to have his son on.
Oh, yeah.
And have him on, have him sing too. But, so because we're kind of crunched for time here, and we'll definitely have him come back. tell me, what is, I know a lot of people, they think you're just a singer and entertainer, and you've done this all these years, all these hit songs. And some people know of your artwork. You're a great artist.
Thank you.
Wow. I have looked at a lot of your artwork online, and that is amazing.
Well, that's another passion I have since the first grade. Well,
Yeah.
actually before I started
Yeah.
school. I was drawing rabbits and
Yeah.
and I never will forget in the first grade, I would take clay and make elephants and giraffes.
Okay.
And the teacher goes, "How do you know to do that?" And I said, "I don't know. But I knew how
But
to."
you just, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Wow.
So anyway, that's a passion. And I turn on Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin when I'm
Yeah.
painting.
Yeah.
Tyler and I, my son, we do these paintings together.
Okay.
And for about 10 years, we had a contract with Disney doing Walt and Mickey. And
Wow.
so been doing it a long time.
Wow. That's awesome.
And George Jones called me, let me tell you this.
Watch out.
Just before he left us. And he goes,
Wow.
"Ronnie, I want you to paint a picture of me getting a DUI on my lawnmower." And I said, "George, I see it right now." He goes, "What do you mean you see it?" And I said, "George, it's like a song when it comes
Yeah.
to me. I see that painting." It was October, Christmas Day. He called me up and he said, "You got my painting done, son?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Well, bring it over." And I said, "George, it's Christmas Day." He said, "What better day?"
Yeah.
So he studied this painting. It was huge. And he studied it. And I said, "George, I got to ask you something. I put Jack Daniels in the cup holder." I said, "What were you drinking that day to get a DUI on a lawnmower?" And he goes, "Son, that day I was drinking a little of all of it."
Only one George.
Big selling painting.
Yeah.
Still to this day. And you know what he said? This is how humble and grounded George Jones was. He said, "What do I have to sign, son?" I said, "George, you don't have to sign anything. I just want to sell prints." He goes, "Son, you sell all the prints you want to for the rest of your life. You never have to ask nobody." You know who else told me that?
Who's that?
Dolly Parton.
Wow. Well, there you go. Probably why they're two of the greats and have been around so long.
Because they're humble.
That's right.
Yeah, even though, you know, Dolly's business,
Yeah.
but she still hasn't forgotten where she came
That's
from.
right. That's right. When all is said and done, when the day comes and you leave this world to go be with the Lord, how do you want to be remembered? What do you want to be the legacy of Ronnie McDowell?
I'm going to put on my tombstone, "I told y'all I was sick."
They didn't believe you. I love you. That's great. I told y'all.
Told y'all I was sick.
That's good. That's good. Don't worry about the songs. Just remember, he told y'all he was sick, right?
All
That's
I
pretty
want
cool.
on there is Daddy. That's it.
That's been your greatest joy.
Yep.
That's right. How many children do you
I
have?
have 5.
5 children.
Yeah.
How many travel with you?
2.
2.
My oldest son's my drummer, road manager, and then Tyler, he's been with Daddy.
Yeah.
I changed their diapers on the bus.
Wow.
Yeah.
They keep you straight and grounded?
Well, you know, you have to put your priorities where they belong.
That's right.
And my mother had 11 of us. I'm number 7.
Wow.
I
My
got to
goodness.
tell you this real quick.
Sure.
That day that the king is gone, she was mopping a floor at a truck stop.
Wow.
She worked 3 jobs trying to take care of us. How she did that, I'll never know. I walked in and I said, "Mother, take your apron off. You never have to work again." She said, "Son, can't you see I'm working?" So this truck driver had heard the king is gone. And he said, "Georgia May, don't you know what's going on with that boy?" She said, "No, what?" And I said, "Mother, come out to the car. Swear to Jesus." I turned the radio on, and The King Is Gone was on every station, pop, rock, country. She never worked again till she died.
What a blessing.
So if anybody owes a debt of gratitude to Elvis Presley, it's me.
Yeah.
And when I was coming here today, you know what road it said to turn on to get to this theater? Presley.
Street.
I'm like,
Presley Street. Yeah. Wow. How about that?
And you remember I told you it was 2:22 in the afternoon when I turned the radio on.
Yeah.
This trip, on all this trip, everything was 222. Everything.
Wow.
My son, we left Elvis's house
Yeah.
in Memphis. He said, "Dad, you know how far it is from Elvis's driveway to our driveway?" I said, "Let me guess." He goes, 222 miles.
Wow.
That ain't coincidence.
Oh, no. No. That's pretty awesome,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's amazing. Well, Ronnie McDowell is in Atmore, Alabama today, performing at the Strand Theater. By the time you see this here, or wherever you're watching this around the country today, it'll be too late. But you can go to his website. They'll put all that information up on the screen. Check out those tour dates and go see Ronnie when he comes to your town. They'll have a lot of fun, won't they?
Yeah, we have fun everywhere I go. That's what it's all about.
That's right.
I was telling the girls here dad jokes.
Yeah.
I love, laughter is music to the soul.
It is.
And I hope I haven't done this to you because Ray Stevens, I just did his show not long ago.
Yeah.
And before I went out, Ray was sitting like Johnny Carson at a desk, and the producer, I told you, did I tell you? He said, Ronnie, can you talk to Ray? We can't get nobody to talk to him. I said, I ain't got no problem with that.
Yeah.
Halfway through the interview, Ray said, you sure do talk a lot. Now, this place was packed.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I said, well, Ray, your producer told me to talk to you when I come out of here. He said, yeah, but you talk a lot. So I hope I ain't run you.
You know what? No, sir. You are the kind of guest, after doing this for 18 years, you are the kind of guest that I love to have.
Well,
I don't have to ask very many questions. I can just sit back and listen and enjoy. I don't mean that disrespectful. I mean that in a great way. I can just sit and learn and listen. And that's when you're a good guest, when people can learn from you.
Well, that's my life. And I'm like George Bailey.
Yep.
I've had the most wonderful.
Oh, what a movie. What a movie. Hey, thank you for watching Celebration and being a part of everything that's happening here. Our announcer's coming right now to tell you what's happening around this network. And we thank you for watching. And we'll be back we'll be back later, with more. God bless you.
We are so glad you have been with us for this program. Our prayer is that today's show has been a blessing and an encouragement to you and your walk with the Lord. This ministry is continually reaching out to spread the good news of Jesus Christ to all the world. We need your love gifts and prayers to help keep this ministry on the air 24 hours a day. So call us at 1-833-963-5433 or write us at Journey Network, P.O. Box 1420, Atmore, Alabama 36504. Or you can contact us online at journeynetwork.live. If you would like to have JT come speak to your church, conference, or event, please visit our website and go to the Event Scheduling tab. Thank you for your continued support. And remember, God loves you, and we do too.